NFL Week 4 predictions are here, and as the NFL is turning more and more upsets in, I really don't know where to go from here. So, hopefully, this is a turnaround week in NFL Week 4. Real quickly, before we get into the predictions, just want to say that making this video, there was a lot of technical difficulties. So, if it's not the highest quality, I am sorry. But the game on Thursday night, which is tonight as I'm making this, is Cowboys Giants. The Cowboys are headed to New York to take on a really solid Giants team. And I'm actually going to pick the Giants to win this game. I think their offense has almost looked better than the Cowboys so far. Week 3 against the Browns, they turned up a really good game. Malik Neighbors looking like a top receiver in the league already. And the Cowboys, more questions than concerns. So I'm going to pick the Giants to win this game. The Saints and the Falcons are going to square off in an NFC South showdown. It is in Atlanta. I'm going to pick the New Orleans Saints to win. Hear me out. I think Derek Carr is going to play similar to how he played in weeks 1 and 2. Not as good, but better than week 3 against the Eagles. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a good game as well. But I just think the Saints offense is more inspiring 3 weeks into the season than the Falcons. You could argue the Falcons secondary is better than the Saints secondary. That's one that's up for debate. I'm going to pick the Saints to win based off a strong Alvin Kamara game. And I think Cam Jordan gets 2 sacks this game as the Saints move to 3-1. The Bears are hosting the LA Rams. You guys know by now, unless this is your first time watching, I am a Bears fan. It is in Chicago. Last week we did lose, but late in the game, Caleb started to look really good. Some of the points were in garbage time where it really didn't matter a ton to score, but that doesn't change the fact that Caleb had his best day as a pro. The 2 picks weren't great. One was his fault, one was not his fault, but I'm going to pick the Bears to win this one. If you want to play LA, you want to play them now when they have a horrible offense, in my opinion, without Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. So I'm going to pick the Bears to win. Rome Odunze continues to shine. And I don't think Keenan Allen's playing. That's not going to matter for me because I'm still going to pick the Bears over the Rams. Packers-Vikings. This game is in Green Bay. So keep that in mind with my prediction. I'm going to predict it to be closer than what it would be if it was at Minnesota. Vikings are rolling right now. They're a top 5 team in my opinion in the whole NFL. I have them number 3 in my power rankings as of recording this. Packers are around the top 10. I am going to pick the Vikings to win this game. The Green Bay is favored -2.5. Malik Willis is playing well, but Sam Darnold is just playing better. And that's a factual statement based off the yards, based off the scoring, based off just even like when you watch the game. Sam Darnold looks even better than what Malik Willis is doing. I can't believe I'd be saying that sentence in 2024, but I'm going to pick the Vikings to win. Off a strong Aaron Jones game, revenge game in Green Bay. Let's go with the Minnesota Vikings. The Steelers are going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Steelers are one of the only 3-0 teams remaining with the Chiefs, Bills, Seahawks, and previous Vikings. I'm going to pick the Steelers to win. If Anthony Richardson struggled against teams like the Packers in week 2 or the Bears in week 3, there's no reason for me to believe that he would not struggle against the top defense in the NFL. Justin Fields continues to take care of the football. I'm assuming the Steelers are going to pound the football this game against the weak Colts D line without DeForest Buckner. So I'm going to pick the Steelers to win. The Broncos and the Jets are playing each other. I just realized I forgot to do score predictions throughout, so I'm just going to start them now. I'm going to pick the Jets to win 27-17 against the Broncos. I think the Broncos offense is going to start to play a little bit better now. Bo Nix is going to start to get more comfortable like he did in week 3 against the Buccaneers. But I think the Jets defense is just too good to let the Broncos score over 20. And Aaron Rodgers is too good of a quarterback to not score at least 20. Garrett Wilson versus Patrick Surtain is going to be a really good matchup, but you still have other playmakers on the Jets offense. And I don't think there's any other playmakers on that Broncos defense. So give me the Jets to win 27-17. Eagles at Buccaneers. Both teams are 2-1. Both teams are ranked number 2 in their division. This one should be pretty interesting. Eagles are favored -2 in Tampa. Bucks, I was really riding high on them until week 3 against that game with the Broncos. Eagles, I thought they were looking pretty good until that week 3 game against the Falcons. Sorry, week 2. They didn't look great against the Eagles besides Saquon Barkley and the defense. And the Buccaneers, well, Baker Mayfield didn't have any blocking in that game against the Broncos. I am going to pick the Buccaneers to win this one, 27-24, in a narrow game. I think the Bucs are going to squeak out with a game-winning field goal. And the Eagles fall to 2-2, and there starts to be serious questions about Jalen Hurts and his ability to lead the Eagles team. And we have the game of the week, 0-3 Bengals, 1-2 Panthers. I'm obviously kidding, but the Bengals are headed to Carolina, where, okay, Cincinnati, you guys got to win this game if you want any chance at anything. You lost to Jaden Daniels and the Commanders last week. You got to put it together this game. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win 30-21 and a pretty resounding win. I know the score is within 10, but the game isn't going to be that close. The Panthers are going to score in garbage time. And if the Bengals lose this game, it's over for them. If the Panthers win this game, it might be over for Bryce Young. The Jaguars and the Texans. The Houston Texans are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I don't know what's going on with Jaguars, man. Jaguars fans, I'm sorry you guys have to deal with this every year. It feels like last year it was the second half of the year. This year, it's the first half of the year. Guys aren't going anywhere. Houston did not look good against Minnesota. I'm still going to pick them to win 38-14 as the suffering continues in Jacksonville. You guys are going to fall to 0-4. And Trevor Lawrence throws 2 interceptions this game. Travis Etienne fumbles. And one of the receivers have a drop pass that turns into a pick. Things are not going to get better in Jacksonville. In my opinion, this game is the most fun game of the week. We have the Commanders and the Cardinals. Both teams have young, fast quarterbacks that use their legs a ton. Both teams have really good wide receiver ones. And both teams have underrated defenses. Both teams' defenses have gotten cooked at least once this season. But don't let that fool you. Like, these two teams have the ability to be playoff teams. The over-under is 50.5, which shows you that this is going to be a score fest. So forget about what I was talking about with the defense. This is going to be a score fest according to sportsbooks. Me, I don't think it's going to be as big of a score fest. I think the Cardinals pull this one out 25-22. It is in Arizona, so that should give them a little bit of an advantage. Jaden Daniels likely throws his first turnover in this game, which I don't want to see happen. I like Jaden Daniels, but everyone does it. You're not going to be perfect. Mahomes throws picks. Everyone throws picks. So Commanders fans, if he throws a bad pick, don't worry. You have your guy of the future. But the Cardinals are going to win this game. Who would have thought the Patriots and the 49ers would have the same record heading into week 4? Not me. Both teams are 1-2. San Francisco is the heavy favorite, -10.5. And I got to agree with everyone here. If the Niners lose this game, their playoff hopes are jeopardized, and Kyle Shanahan's coaching career gets even more questions. He obviously hasn't been able to get it done in the Super Bowl, but losing to the Patriots and a banged up Rams back-to-back weeks, that's unacceptable in the NFL as a Super Bowl contender. We know this team is super talented. They just got to put it together. I'm going to get the Niners a win 30-20 in a defensive demolishing by the 49ers defense. But if that doesn't happen and the Patriots somehow win this game, we have to have serious talks about the 49ers. I'm going to keep this one short and simple, guys. It's the Browns and the Raiders. This is the snooze fest of the week. The over-under is 37, which even for an NFL game is low. Usually it's like 41, 42. This game is not going to be fun. The Raiders' defense is horrible. The Browns' defense is great. The Raiders' offense can be good, but the Cleveland Browns' offense is horrible. So I think the Browns have a little bit of an advantage. I don't even want to talk about this game anymore. I'm just going to give the Browns a 14-10 victory against the Raiders. And both of these teams can just go, leave the NFL. What are you guys doing? The Chargers and the Chiefs. I'm actually really excited for this game because I want to see what Jim Harbaugh can do against a guy like Andy Reid. Obviously, against another top coach and Mike Tomlin, he lost 20-10. I do think the Chargers benefited from an easy first two games on their schedule, so I don't think they're as good as what some people are saying. I think they're still slightly underrated by most fans, saying that they're a 5-7 win team. They're slightly better than that. I think they'll win 8 games this year. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs. It is in LA. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win 30-17 because Herbert is not going to be 100% if he plays. Or if he doesn't play, Easton Stick is not good at all. So I'm going to give the Chiefs a big win in LA against their divisional rival. On Sunday Night Football, we have the Bills and the Ravens. Looking at this before the season started, this would be a Game of the Year candidate. Now, it still is, but there's some serious questions about the Ravens. And the Bills look like the best team in the NFL. If the Chiefs weren't a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, I would say they are the best team in the NFL. The Ravens are not looking great to start the season. If you blew that game against the Cowboys, which you almost did, but you didn't, you'd fall to 0-3 to start the season, besides being a top 3 Super Bowl favorite. That is just absurd and unacceptable in the NFL. But they aren't. They're 1-2. Hoping to get another big win in Baltimore. The Bills, though. How do I not pick the Bills? They look like the best team in the NFL through the first 3 weeks. Josh Allen's lighting it up as an MVP contender. We have James Cook scoring touchdowns. Keon Coleman getting touchdowns. Kincaid has not been as good as I thought he'd be, but still solid. And Khalil Shakur, the other receiver, has stepped it up. And the defense as well has stepped it up a lot. So I'm going to pick the Bills 38-30 in a really fun game in Baltimore. The Monday night games, we have a doubleheader on Monday night. The Titans are playing the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are somehow favored without Tua. I don't know how the Dolphins are going to win without Tua. They looked just pitiful against the Seahawks in week 3. And I'm going to pick Tennessee Titans to win this game. It is in Miami. I don't think that's going to matter. Will Levis will finally play a game without a dumb turnover. I just feel like he has to do it at some point or he's going to see the bench. There's just no way around it. And somehow Tennessee isn't even at the bottom of their division. According to Yahoo, it's the Jaguars. I thought the AFC South was going to be really good. Anyway, we got the Titans winning this game 20-10. 7 in a boring game on Monday night. Hopefully the other Monday night game serves our plates for dinner, which I think it will. Seattle 3-0, Detroit 2-1. Both teams always duel it out well against each other. One of the last games they played, it was 48-45 Seahawks in Detroit. Now, the question is, does Seattle get Detroit's number once again and start the season 4-0? I'm going to say they do. It's debatable. I really don't have a for sure answer on this game. But if I had to pick a team right now, I'd pick the team with the better record. I'd pick the team with, in my opinion, a better coach defense. And I think the playmakers on the Seahawks are possibly better than the playmakers on the Lions. It depends. Would you rather have DK or Amon-Ra? But I think JSN destroys the Lions receiver too. And I'm going to give the Seahawks the win. Geno Smith is playing like he did 2 years ago. And Seahawks fans, you guys start 4-0. Congratulations. And that is going to be my week 4 predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.